we're going to make this part in Autodesk Inventor. So go ahead and fire up Autodesk Inventor and start a new part. Mine is taking a while to start up. Loading. Why is it taking so long? You don't say. What? This might happen to you. Just be patient. Skip ahead if you have to. Alright, here we go. So, this part is in millimeters. So we have to change our tools and document settings to millimeters in the units menu. So I'm going to change that to millimeter. Apply and close that window. In the 3D model tab, we're going to start a 2D sketch. And let's see. So I see this dimension here, so I'm going to make a line that's 100 millimeters apart. Make these circles, make these rectangles, make this rectangle, and extrude by 40. So I'm going to do that on the XY plane. And I'm going to click line. I'm going to start on this origin. Click and make that 100. Enter. Okay, so I have a line that's 100 millimeters long. Clicking on circle. And let's see, this diameter is 64, this outside diameter is 100. So on this left side, gonna make sure if yours is not set to diameter, just right click before you click to close the circle. Change it to diameter or radius. Radius is just half the diameter, so whatever half of 64 would be, that'd be 32. We're gonna just right click, make that diameter because it's just easier to look at that. So 64, enter. And then again, we have one that is 100. So that's 100. This one is, the diameter is 25 and the outside diameter is 50. So on this one, that's 25, enter. And another one, 50, enter. So we have these rectangle parts. I'm going to make this whole surface, this whole sketch, and then just extrude it one time. You'll see. Alright, so between the center mark and here it's 75. So we'll click on rectangle, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle. I'll dimension it in a second here. So it's 50 wide. That's 50. Which means that from the center mark to the far edge it's 25. So from here to the center mark, that should be 25. Okay, and then from the center mark to the bottom it's 75. So in the center mark to the bottom, make that 75. So once you have those dimensions, now we're going to do some trimming and making this. So this right here, that's a 6. It's kind of got cut off and faded. So clicking on trim, I'm going to trim this and this and this and this, this and this. Okay, I'm going to click on the rectangle tool. I'm going to make a rectangle like that. And that is going to be, let's see, it says it's 6 wide, so I'm going to click on dimension, make this 6 wide. And it should be from the left side to this center, that should be 3. So we centered that. Okay. And then we're going to trim again, so we're going to trim here and here, 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 here. We're just getting rid of, oops, so I'm going to delete that dimension. Delete, delete. Delete this line. X for trim. So that we get this shape here. Let's look at this. Okay, and we have a rectangle here that is 10 wide. So clicking on rectangle, drawing a rectangle. So this dimension here, that should be 10. And then the dimension between the center is 5. And then we can trim again. Trim this guy. So that we have, oopsies. Nope. Delete that. There we go. Okay. I think I can extrude by 40 now. So finish sketch, and then click extrude, and that whole thing should highlight. Bring this menu down, extrude by 40, and click OK. Yeah. So we have a hole here, and then we have this thing here. Let's do that. So I'm going to make a midplane in the center. So I'm going to click on plane, midplane between two planes. Click on this surface. Click on my navigator cube. Click on that surface, and it puts a work plane right in the center there. Right click on that work plane, new sketch. Clicking on project geometry. I'll click on line, and I'm going to draw a line like this. And then I'm going to tangent it to the circles. Oopsies, undo. So I need to move that line up and then tangent it to there. Okay, great. I'm going to click on trim and trim those. Remember, the shortcut for trim is X on the keyboard. Finish sketch, extrude, find that surface, extrude symmetrical, and that measurement is 10. Click OK. Okay, so we have a hole here. So I'm going to right click new sketch on this surface, and I'm assuming that's all the way through. Usually when you see a hole like this, and there's no notes, that means it's going all the way through. It should say through hole, but that one is 15 diameter and 20 in that direction. It's probably, well, let's measure this and see what happens. Projecting geometry. Okay. Clicking circle. And the circle is 15 in diameter, so 15. Let's place it from the center to here. That's supposed to be 20. And I'm going to assume, well, let me dimension this. I want to see how big this is. That's 31. It's probably in the center of it then, so whatever half of that is. So dimension. Click on the center, click on that bottom, and do whatever this number is, so 31.699 divided by 2, and that puts it in the center. So once we placed our hole, finish sketch, and extrude the whole way through. So, and all. Click OK. I think, am I done? I am done. Alright, so I'm gonna save that as, so Control S, that is exercise part 5. And let's go ahead and start the drawing for that. So right here we're gonna click on new drawing. Let that load up. Don't know why this computer is taking so long. Load, load, load. Alright. So this is the part where a lot of you get stuck. So let's just make sure we review this nicely. These little plus things on the browser will open and close sections like sheet 1 right here. So we always want to get rid of ANSI large, so we right click on that, delete. And we right click on sheet 1 and edit sheet to make it size A. Size A is regular size copy paper. So when you print that, if you were going to print it, it would print on regular paper and be nice. Open up the drawing resources and open up the title block section to insert ANSI A. So right click insert ANSI A. That'll show all of this information. If you right click on drawing 1 and click on eye properties, the summary tab actually lets you change what's going to be shown in that title block. So go ahead and update that first. You're the author in this case. Apply and OK, and then you'll see your title block update. In place views, we're going to place the base, so we click on base, and it looks like half scale is going to work nicely. You can change it to 2/3, or if we do 1:1, it's going to be too big. So 1:1 is full size. So 1/2 is a good size. Let's see if it'll fit. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, I'll click OK. Something new that I kind of want to start doing, in the isometric, I'm going to just double click on it when the red outline is around it, and I'm going to actually make the scale even smaller and turn the shading on and put that right in the top right. That way that gives you some more space for your drawing if you have a drawing that's super detailed and needs that kind of space. Alright, so right off the bat, let's put some center marks. So click on your annotation tab and click on center mark and click on all the circles that you see. And click on the big circles. Yeah. Okay. And we're gonna clean those up. So we're gonna right click on any of the center marks. So when it's highlighted red, right click, edit center mark. And we're gonna, alright, so I forgot to change my drawing size. So I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna go to Tools, Document Settings. In the Standard menu, we're gonna change the active standard to ANSI mm, since this part was designed in millimeters. So we want that. We want our dimensions to be in millimeters. Alright, back to this. Right click, edit center mark. And now we see it says mm. This size A is reflected here in this little diagram, so I like to make that 2 millimeters. B, here we can make that 1.5. D, C is the overshoot. I'm going to make the overshoot longer, so I'll make that 4. D is for regular center mark lines. I'm going to make that 1.7. Click Done. Yes. Okay. The other thing I want to do is I'm going to place a dimension. So let's look at this. So the number of dimensions that you see on this part is the minimum amount of dimensions. So if there's, I don't know how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 dimensions. So it only took 13 dimensions to make this part. So if you have more than 13 dimensions on here, try not to do that. So let's click on the center line, and we're going to center line this hole, and we're going to center line this hole. There's a hole here, so center line that, and then this hole right here gets center line. Okay. So right off the bat, let's dimension that 50. So dimension, click on this corner and this corner, and that's 50. I'm gonna right click on the dimension because I want to do this right away, and then I'm gonna edit dimension style, and then click text, note text. Note text is your dimension text. I'm gonna change the font to Technic, and I'm gonna make the height 2. Click done. Yes. That should close up. The other thing, I think this might do it. Alright, yeah. So if you have a dimension that is flipped on its side like that, right click the dimension, so double tap escape, right click the dimension, edit dimension style, and then that'll bring up this menu with the text tab. This text tab has your orientation for linear. In this box, the top selection, the inline horizontal, is the one we want. Click done, and yes, and it'll flip it. Okay, we actually don't need that dimension, so I'm going to delete that, but it'll it'll stay like that, it won't change. So we need this diameter, this diameter, this diameter, this diameter. So in this front view, I'm going to place those diameters. Okay, so right off the bat, it's showing it as radius. So I'm going to right click, dimension type, change it to diameter. And I don't like this menu popping up, so I'm going to uncheck this box and click OK. And then I'm going to keep, undo, dimension, right click, dimension type, diameter. Right click, dimension type, diameter. Diameter. Excellent. This dimension is 75. Between here and here is 100. So from the center mark to here, it's 100. And then between here and here is 6. Zoom in. So I'm going to move this dimension down a bit and move this 6 to right there. Okay, we want that to fit on the inside like that nicely. What else do we have? Okay, I don't think we actually even need this top view. Let's see what dimensions we're missing. Oh, we need this to be 10. So click here and here. That's going to be 10. And we need this dimension for this hole. We need the center mark. Okay. And actually, yeah. That'll help make the part. Oh, and then this dimension right here is 10. And the width is 40. Let's move this dimension in. Can I get that? Can you go in there? Why won't you? I don't like that. This might be one of those situations where we have to ignore dimension guidelines because it's not fitting. Yep, that's it. Alright, so we don't actually need this top view, so I'm going to right click the top view and delete it. And move this up, move this down a bit. And there's my technical drawing for this part. Okay, I'm going to click save. Save it. If you were to print this, you can press Control P. Make sure you select best fit and make sure you select the correct printer. And then you just click OK and it'll print out. Alright, good luck.